Hello everyone, it's Chris Munch here and welcome to the webinar. We'll be talking today about media buys and the future of traffic in 2014. So let's dive right in then. And first of all, let's have a quick rundown on what we'll be covering in this webinar. So first of all, we'll be looking at how to scale traffic campaigns to $100 per day. And hi everyone else who's typing in where they're from. Willard from Los Angeles, Ben from UK, Robert from Arizona, and everyone else. Big welcome to you guys. And also we'll be discussing traffic in 2014. So it's really interesting kind of where we've come up to today in 2013 and what's brought us here. And if you look at what's kind of happened in the past decade, it'll really show you where we're heading to as well. First of all though, before we get started, I have on screen here mini media buys. We'll get into the mini part in a little while. First of all though, let's look at media buys. So first of all, I just want to get a good idea of where you guys are at so I can help you in the best way possible as we move through this webinar. So it'll be a good idea if you can tell me what you think media buys are, and then I kind of got a good idea of where everyone's at. So just type there in the chat box what you think mini media buys are, or media buys specifically. Okay, so a few people here with no idea. Ads on websites, banners, rights to advertise on certain websites, purchasing banner adverts. Okay, and so media buys is to do with display advertising. So I'm going to show you a couple of examples in just a moment. Okay, we've got quite a few people who aren't too sure what these are. Okay, so I'll show you an example in just a minute. Okay, well in fact let's just jump right into what these media buys are. Okay, so Stan says that buying advertising space on specific sites. Okay, use in real time bidding to drive traffic to your product. Kind of, possibly, but not always. So let's just take a look at a random website. So if we head on over to weather.com, let's just pick an article. If someone wants to shoot me a topic, we'll head over to weather.com. They've got lots of different articles on there and they've got different ads. Shoot me a topic and we'll head on over. Okay, right, travel. Okay, we'll do travel. So I'm just going to pick a random article that's appearing here. So weather.com has news articles. It has, so we've ended up on US News because I clicked the wrong link. So that doesn't matter. I'm sure they got display advertising on here. So let's give this just a second to load up. And we should see all the ads appear on the site, hopefully. So here we see one right kind of in the middle here. So we've got one here, so this is a display advert and this is a display advert. So it could be a banner ad or it could be a text link. It's really just adverts which appear on websites, and they could really appear, in various different places. And they've got some here at the bottom as well, and usually you'll find some right at the top and down the side. So we have a look on weather.com for travel. Hopefully I'll click the right link this time. Let's see what we've got. Okay, I'm just going to type in a more specific subject. Let's see if anyone gave it. I'll just put in lose weight, because travel is a bit vague and it's coming up with a travel category. So just pick one of these randomly and we'll head on through and we can see some more banner advertising on the site. Now what's interesting about this is you see, first of all, I'm like on an island in the Mediterranean in the middle of nowhere, so most companies don't want to advertise to me because I live on a small island and there's not many people here compared to, say, advertising in the US or the UK. So the type of ads which show up for me are going to be different for you. And what you'll find is if you just go to kind of any random site which runs banner ads and you refresh the page, you'll notice that the adverts tend to change each time you refresh. And if you just keep browsing through the site and you go to different pages, you'll see that the adverts, over time, they're just going to change as you load up the page again, as you go to a different article. You'll sometimes see the same banner ad twice, and I'm more likely to see it more than once. And that's because there's not as many people advertising to me. But if you go and do this yourself and browse around, what you'll see is different ads appearing each time. And the ads which appear first are the people who tend to be paying the most money. And the ads which appear second seem to be the ads which would be they're not paying as much, they're cheaper. And the reason why the ads which are paying more appear first is because that's what the advertiser wants. Because that's what the website wants, because they're going to get the most money with the first impression, the first load of that page. Whereas the adverts which appear later on are going to be paying less. And the reason why is because the advertiser that's paying the most doesn't want that ad seen over and over and over and over and over again by the same person, because if they didn't click on it the first time, after maybe 3, 4, or 5 times, they probably don't want to click on it at that point. And so that's one of the reasons why the more times you browse around, you'll start seeing different ads as you go around. So that's actually an opportunity, because really the average person, you might spend an hour browsing online, and it's not just on one website. This data here, the fact that I've seen this ad on this website, the advertising network probably already knows that I've seen this ad, and so it won't show me it again on a different website, or is less likely to. And so the more I browse around, the more different types of ads I'm going to see. And so this is why you can actually bid very, very cheaply and spend very little money on getting advertisements, because maybe your ad might be the 30th ad which they've seen, but by that point all the expensive advertisers have decided not to show their ads anymore, and then you can come in and show your ads. And because people browse like hundreds of pages every single day, there's a lot of opportunity to be able to get your ads to display through these networks. And that's not the only way which you can do it. There's an even better way as well, which I personally consider better, and I consider it a lot cheaper, and it's driven much better profits for me. So does that make sense to everybody so far about banner advertising? Just give me a yes in the chat box. I'll know if you're with me or if you're confused, and then we can head on to the next part. So yeah, seeing yeses coming in. If you're not sure, you can just say. So everyone's clear on that. Okay, good. Right, so moving on to the next part then is really to have a look at where traffic is going in 2014. So as you probably know, if you've got traffic to your website, then you're going to be able to make money. Traffic is really the key. If you haven't got traffic, you can't get money. If you've got traffic coming in, then that's when you'll be able to convert that into cash. So traffic, people coming to your site, is the most critical and important thing. If you don't get that right, then you're really going to be going nowhere. Maybe you've tried some things in the past to bring traffic to your site or to your online projects, for your business, whatever it is. If you haven't been successful with that, then that's really the reason why you're not getting anywhere. So traffic is the most important thing. So Stan says, banner advertising, or is this for banner advertising or display advertising? So display adverts include banner advertising. Media buys is essentially display advertising, which includes banner advertising. Really any advert which you see on a website is really display advertising, and that's really what media buys are for. Okay, so to look where we're heading then, as we move forward, then I'm just going to quickly show you a few things here, kind of where we've been in the past and where we're moving forward. And to give you like a good idea of where we're heading, it's important to look back, because often history repeats itself, and if you can kind of see where we're going and where we are now, you can avoid some of the mistakes which lots of people are going to make in terms of not being able to get traffic and not being able to get much success with their business, and also look in the past and kind of see where this has kind of like come in before. So this is a good thing to look at. So I just want to concentrate over on this side of the page first of all. And so back in 1999, you might remember there was a big boom in the internet. So there was all this buzz about the internet. There was a huge amount of investment money, and people were becoming paper millionaires, and there was all this excitement, and it just got out of control. And even though the internet was definitely going to become a huge thing, it was overestimated how quickly and also how profitable it would be. And so what happens here is that the price of display advertising or banner ads was somewhere between $50 to $100 CPM. And what that means is that the price was somewhere in the region of $50 to $100 per 1,000 page views. So that was grossly, massively overpriced, because today, when more people are on the internet and more people are used to paying for things online, even today it's like 99 times cheaper than it was back then. So that just goes to show the insane amount here. Like, this was just absolutely crazy how much they were charging. So just an interesting question. Back in 1999, how much did it cost just to speak to a representative to talk about advertising with Yahoo? Like, today you can just go and advertise on Yahoo like with $5. It's, you know, you can spend that little amount of money and be able to advertise like somewhere within Yahoo. But back then, just type in the chat box how much you thought they were charging just to speak to a representative to advertise on Yahoo. So just take a guess. And it's really important, guys, that you get involved in this one, and just as we go through, type in your questions and your comments and take part, and that way you'll get the most out of this, and then moving forward you'll be in a much better position to apply this going forward. So make sure that you've got no distractions taken away, you've got Facebook closed and everything like that, and then you can just focus right in on this webinar, and you'll get some really good information on this, on how you can drive some evergreen profitable campaigns in your business. Okay, so we've got guesses of $500, $1,000 from Larry, $100, $50, Yahoo charge for support. Now this is, Joey, this is how much it costs to actually speak to someone just about advertising. It's not even to advertise on Yahoo, just to speak to someone about advertising. So pay 100% full attention to this, because you're about to realize something very powerful about where we're heading in 2014. Okay, so someone's got it right there with 5K. So Yahoo used to charge you $5,000 just to speak to a representative, about advertising. So for $5,000, you just get to talk about the idea of advertising. You wouldn't even get to actually advertise. So that's how massively inflated the prices were. But then something happened. What happened next? What happened next is a huge crash. And like if you were to look at like the Dow Jones and go back a few years, let's have a look at this and see what happened after 1999. So I'll go back here, need to go a little bit more than 10 years to see what happened here. And what's very interesting is the stock market and the prices of advertising are really well linked together. So here we are going back to 1995. So you see the stock market was going up incredibly, and then it dropped down here. And it dropped down in the Dow Jones quite considerably, but specifically with internet stocks and with tech stocks, it dropped like quite substantially. And so if we go here and see, you can see that it was dropping. It kind of peaked in 1999 and dropped since then. The difference in price between this point here and this point in, say, 2001, it was like literally like a 99 times drop in ad cost. And if we look at the NASDAQ as well, if I can spell it, we'll see something very, very similar. If I can bring up Google Finance, here we go. So we'll see something very similar, and this will really, because the NASDAQ is, for those of you that don't know, is specifically looking at tech stocks, and so this really shows the big drop which it had and the massive rise. So you can see here what happened specifically with tech stocks. You can see there was a huge jump from like 5,000, the price was around 5,000, and it dropped all the way down in 2002 to like incredibly low, just I think around 1,000. So this represents here the cost of advertising online actually kind of follows this pattern. And so it's very, very interesting. It doesn't follow it exactly, because now the prices have moved back up here. So you'll see that we're now at 4,000. Back here it was at 5,000. Even between this point here, the difference in cost, it was 99 times more expensive in around 1999, and even now it's incredibly cheap. But at this point here, it was exceptionally cheap, because there was so much worry about what was going to happen with internet stocks, and so many people were just losing money. So for example, Disney had a website called Go.com which lost like around 700 million. Pets.com, you've heard that story, where they lost like 10 million. All these companies lost so much money, and they spent so much money on banner advertising online and display advertising and media buys, but they made no profit, and they got hardly any clicks, and they went bust, and they lost lots of money. That's absolutely insane for them to have spent all that money and lost it all. So that left them with like a really bitter taste in their mouth. Still the same people are involved online, you know. The people who were the people in the companies, even though the companies disappeared, they still came back in other forms of companies, you know, as in a different company. They came back and they have this memory of this bad experience with banner ads. And in part, you know, they're blaming the fact that they wasted so much money on advertising. And if we go back here, AdWords launched in like 2001, almost near the bottom, which was an awful time for AdWords to launch. So AdWords launched here. Crazy. And what happened when AdWords launched at this time is everyone remembered the bad experience they just had with banner AdWords, and they're like, oh, I'm not too sure about advertising online anymore. And so they weren't spending any money on AdWords. So this is where you can bid on pay-per-click. So when AdWords launched, you could bid on a keyword in Google and have your website show in the rankings. And you'd pay at that time like 1 pence or 2 pence or 2 or 3 cents per click. Like in niches like real estate, people who jumped in it in like 2001 and 2002 made an absolute killing. I watched a presentation from Gary Vaynerchuk about 3 weeks ago when I was in Dublin at a conference, and he said he was buying advertising like around this time, sometime between 2001 and 2003 for his wine business, and he was bidding on the keyword wine, and he was just making an absolute killing because he was an early adopter and he made an absolute killing. It was just so easy. So while everyone else was like, oh no, banner ads and advertising and AdWords, you know, it sounds scary, we just lost a load of money, they absolutely raked it in. So while everyone else was doing one thing, they did something else. This is a really important point. While everyone else does one thing and their attention, you know, drives into a certain area and they all believe the same thing, it's a really good idea to do the opposite thing. So this is what people were doing kind of between 2001 and 2003. During this time, you know, look at what was happening in tech stocks around this time. It has seen such an incredible drop, and in like 2002, the sentiment was just so negative about what was going to happen with like tech businesses and the investment and the amount of money being spent on advertising. And around this time, people were making an absolute fortune on AdWords while nobody was talking about it, and everyone was saying making money on the internet is a stupid idea. And so more as we move forward from 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, as this graph's going up, more and more people are getting involved in AdWords because it's really the main platform for advertising online. So that's what they were doing. They were getting really involved in AdWords. And what happened then, so we moved forward a little bit to 2008, and that's when it really changed for AdWords because everyone started realizing how much of a huge opportunity it was. And so actually I was one of the latecomers, and I came in 2007, and within a couple of months I'd set up a campaign which was bringing in $2,000 per month profit. And I just left that campaign running. I mean, it wasn't like my main area of business. I didn't want to get involved with AdWords. It wasn't really for me. But I like to expand and I like to like play around with things, so I tried it out. I had a $2,000 per month campaign running in AdWords. And that was just coming in month after month. And then I think in 2008, like it became a problem where the rules got really tough, the platform became more complex, and the competition just went through the roof because people like me were coming in and joining, and the prices were beginning to rise up. Companies, bigger companies with big budgets were starting to get back involved again and spend a lot of money. You remember that 2008 was actually like, just like, you know, it was just around the peak. 2007, 2008 was a time just before we experienced the next crash as well. So, you know, 2007, 2008 is just before we experienced the next crash, right? And so that's very, very interesting that that's going on. And so at that time, AdWords like was so popular at that time, they had to toughen up the rules to stop advertisers doing shady things, or just to improve the user experience, or to make the government happy in the rules which they had. There was lots more competition coming in, which was raising the price of ads, and the platform became a lot more complex. So this is a very interesting thing which happened, and that made AdWords, it kind of like locked a lot of people out of AdWords. It was no longer easy. So AdWords is still great. I still use it, can still make money with it. It's just not the easiest platform to use because there's a level of complexity involved, and the rules are harder and the prices are harder. So you really need to know what you're doing and have some experience. And you know, today we're in a completely different situation, and so every single day someone is talking about Facebook. They're blogging about it, about advertising on Facebook. There's a course coming out on Facebook. You know, someone's showing us stats from Facebook. What's happening in Facebook now is kind of like what happened in 2007 with AdWords. And history tends to repeat itself, and we're already beginning to experience this where there's more competition on Facebook, there's tougher rules, and it's more complex. Okay? And this is like becoming an increasing problem. Now, I'm not saying, you know, Facebook is useless, you shouldn't advertise on that, and AdWords is no good and you can't make money on that. I'm not saying that. You can make money on AdWords and you can make money on Facebook, and Facebook is easier to make money with than AdWords. It's just they might not necessarily be the best platforms going forward, or even right now, where, you know, there really is the big opportunity. So there's something I'm about to tell you now which will really help you as you move forward with advertising. And it's really the difference between being able to set up a campaign which is just going to run and bring you a return each month, bring you profits each month, compared to a campaign which you'll run for a very short time, and, you know, it'll make money for like 7 days and then you have to start over. So I'm just going to highlight this on screen, just going to put it in red so you know exactly where we're looking at. So you can see this bit about ad blindness. So for anyone who's done any Facebook advertising, can you just tell me in the chat box who's done any Facebook advertising up to this point? If you can tell me in the chat box, that'd be really, really cool. So yeah, we've got a couple of yeses, some no's. Okay, so whether you've done any Facebook advertising or not, this is still going to be extremely helpful in no matter what type of traffic that you bring to your site. And ultimately, whatever traffic you bring to your site, or to whatever you're promoting, whether you're promoting affiliate offers, you know, this is going to make an absolutely huge, insane difference if you grasp this very, very simple point which I'm about to show you. So pay full attention to this, because if you miss just like a minute, it will get confusing and you won't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so Facebook is a great place to advertise, and there's lots of people making money. I see my friends, they come and tell me like, oh, I spent $100 on Facebook and I made $500, or I made $1,000. I hear this like almost every day. Like, I'm connected with like hundreds of other entrepreneurs. I look in my Facebook, they're always saying stuff like this. And it's really, really cool, and I've had the same experience where you spend very little amount on Facebook and you can make a lot of money when you know what you're doing. But there's a common thing, and if you ask anyone who's doing this with Facebook, they'll always tell you that, oh yeah, I can make some good money with Facebook, but it only lasts for like 1 to 7 days, then I have to start a new campaign. So it's not evergreen, it's limited, and every single week if they want to keep that income, they have to reinvent the wheel. They have to come up with a new campaign, maybe promoting something else, which makes it very, very difficult to really bring in a steady income for yourself, for your business. You know, your profits are always going to be all over the place. Some campaigns will work well, some won't. And this is the reason. It's down to ad blindness. Okay, so when you target 1 million people on Facebook, you don't really target 1 million people. So when you set up your ad, you know, you can set up all this targeting, people who are interested in losing weight, and, you know, you can target down like by age. So you might target like older people who are interested in losing weight and they live in California, and, you know, you target like 1 million people. But if you want to reach those 1 million people, then you have to spend a lot of money per click or per view of your ad, which essentially means that you're going to lose money, because if you're spending lots and lots of money on your ad, then you really, really, really need to know what you're doing. You have to have an amazing funnel, an amazing, absolutely amazing product, probably like a brand new latest product that's come out, you know, that just everybody wants, and it's not going to last forever. But if you really, really want to make a profit on that, it's just exceptionally difficult. So for the average person, and for everyone that I know who's making money through Facebook, is they lower the cost of their advertising. Okay? So they lower the cost of the advertising. So instead of like spending $1 per click, they want to spend 10 cents per click. And at 10 cents per click, they can make money. They can double the amount they can double their money when they're paying 10 cents per click. And when you are bidding at this low rate, then you're not able to reach the 1 million people that you target. You're only able to reach maybe 100,000 of them. This number is going to vary, but when you bid low, because you want to make a profit, then you're only going to actually reach 100,000 people. And when you reach these 100,000 people, you'll find that 10,000, or like a small percentage of these, will be people who are on Facebook every single day, almost every single minute. I'm sure you probably know a friend, or maybe you're the type of person that does this and you like to be on Facebook all the time and chat with your friends. You know, you're really into Facebook, or you know someone who's really into Facebook. Those people are seeing the ads the most. Those people will see your ad again and again, and within one day they might have seen your ad 10 times. These 10,000 people who are never off Facebook see your ad 10,000 times. It's crazy. And so this is where you're really spending your money, because the other 90,000 people don't come on Facebook very often. When they come on it, they probably don't spend that long on it, and so they don't see your ad very often, if at all, and it might be, you know, like a couple of weeks before they see it. But in the same time frame, these power users have seen your ad like 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, 50 times, 100 times, and it's these power users that are eating up your ad spend. And because they've seen your ad so many times, they're no longer interested in it. If they were interested in it, they'd have clicked it, you know, like maybe like 3, 4, or 5, or 10 times in the first 3, 5, or 10 times they've seen it. And so within like 2 or 3 days, you find pretty much guaranteed that your ads on Facebook stop working, because the power users are no longer clicking your ad, which drives up the cost, because if people aren't clicking it, then Facebook charges you more money, and then all of a sudden your campaign no longer works. So you might be able to make $100 or $500 or $1,000 in a 7-day campaign, maybe even more than that, but after that it's over, and you have to start again, promoting something else, promoting a different product, using new adverts. You're always recreating it. It's not evergreen. And this is great because you can go in and you can do these campaigns and make some money, but you're always starting over. You're always having to work at it again and again and again, which is fine. You know, that's one way of doing it, and I do that as well. We set up these campaigns, we run them. It's just, if I'm going to scale my business, if I'm going to drive more $100 per day campaigns, I can't be doing this all the time. I'm going to have to outsource this, give it to someone else. If I'm going to have to outsource, or if I'm going to get someone to help me to do things like this, then I really need, you know, a stable traffic source. If I just want to run my business and not have to worry about that being there day by day, I need a traffic source which is evergreen. It's really, really important. And just before I move on to the next slide, to share with you how you can actually go about doing this, just to let you know, the name appearing on screen is Aravind. That's not actually me. That's the guy who sent you to this webinar with his friend. He's not been able to make it today with his internet connection, so it's just me, and I'm Chris Munch. So you're listening to Chris Munch even though on your screen it says another name. That's just the issue with GoToWebinar, just the way it's set up. We forgot to change the name. So sorry that he couldn't make it today. Okay. So just a few things first then. So we'll get on into a minute about how you can actually do these type of campaigns which really work for you. So where you're able to get like a evergreen campaign which keeps bringing you profits and money on a continuous basis. So I'll get back to that in just a minute. It's just behind this little box here. First of all, I just want to show you, because this will be very, very interesting, and you'll see why banner ads actually work really, really well compared to Facebook. So we talked about moving forward in 2014, and we've seen how, you know, the ad prices with Facebook are going to rise when the complexity is increasing already. The difficulty with the rules is going to become, you know, a bit more of a problem, and that's going to happen through 2014. And really, at the same time, because banner ads got off to such a bad start, and they're still considered, people say, oh, like banner ads, they're really, really expensive. Don't you remember that, like Yahoo, you used to charge $5,000 just to talk to them about that? You need to have a huge budget. None of this is true today. It's completely different. You can go in and pick a website you want to advertise on and just do these small, tiny campaigns. So today, you know, what's happened with banner ads and display advertising and media buys is now that you can do these $20 to $50 mini media buy campaigns, really, really small, and then you can scale up from there. So however big you want to take it is really down to you. You know, you have the aim of my aim is to put $1 in and get $2 out, and then, you know, try and scale it up, you know, to these $100 per day campaigns, and then expand from there. So how far you take it and what you advertise is up to you. There's lots of options in what you can do, and I'll show you some of those. And, you know, it's actually the easiest platform to advertise on. It's got the least rules, and it's the most beginner friendly for anyone who's coming into paid advertising. If you've got experience with paid advertising, it's then even better because you already have an experience on difficult platforms, and now you come into something which is even easier, which has been my exact experience. And so there's been this reduction in cost, and the startup cost in terms of setting your campaigns is like ridiculously low, just the same as like it is with Facebook. And competition has been really like disappeared, because what's everyone doing? Everyone is looking at Facebook, and what is the best thing to do in business is don't follow what the crowd is doing. Look for where there's the opportunities where everyone else isn't looking yet. Look for the next big thing. Just like how people made a killing with AdWords back in the day when AdWords was just starting out. That was absolutely a huge opportunity, and it was the same for Facebook in like 2009. If you were on Facebook in 2009 advertising when nobody else was doing it, you were able to just make a killing. Lots of people made enough money to like live on for the rest of their lives when they first started out on AdWords, when they first started out on Facebook before it became popular. And at the moment, like right now, display advertising actually takes up 35% of all internet advertising. It's absolutely huge. It's 35%. This isn't some small thing. There's money being spent because there's profits to be made, and that's going to rise to, they expect it to rise in 2014 to 40%. So banner ads, display ads, and media buys, it's a business which is growing, and we're just at the cusp of that. And one of the reasons is there's been major developments in the technology for banner ads and media buys. The technology, the way you can target, and while Facebook is getting all the attention, when Facebook, do one of their little updates, then it's all over the news and everyone's talking about it. When it happens in media buys, you never hear about it. And one of the reasons why media buys isn't going to catch on and make the news so much is because it's so fragmented. So if you look here, I've said it's a fragmented industry. And what that means is that, can you think of one company which is the dominant force in media buying or banner ads or display ads? So can you think of that? Just type in the chat box. You can't. It's really like I'm not seeing anyone typing anything in yet. You can't. When you think of like in social media, so when it comes to social media advertising, who's the big guy in social media advertising? Just type in the chat box, who's the big guy in social media advertising? Let's see what answers come in. And I guarantee every single one is the same. And when I ask the question, where is all the attention right now online in terms of getting traffic, everyone says Facebook. Everyone says Facebook. Okay? So there's one person here that said the traffic in the attention for social media getting traffic is Twitter, and everyone else has said Facebook. So Facebook is like, for social media, that's like the main place to advertise. That's the big platform. That's where like 95% of people are paying attention. And if you want to do the same thing as everyone else and go ahead, you're just probably going to be missing the big opportunities where everyone else isn't looking. And when it comes to like search pay per click, where you bid on keywords, there's really only one company that people think of, and that's Google. You've also got Bing and Yahoo, but it's like, it's 60 or 70% Google, like it's 20-30% Bing, and then the rest of them, like no one, unless you're like really into search pay per click, then you don't know these other companies, and those other companies send hardly any traffic anyway. And what happens when you have one or two companies owning a particular market is they have a huge unfair advantage, and they are able to set the rules and make things more difficult because there's no competition. Whereas in a fragmented industry, like with media buys, you don't have that problem, because there's literally, like, if you like the number of players in the banner advertisement industry and display advertisements is not like one or two. It's 100 to 200, possibly up to somewhere like 500, because there's so many small little companies where you can go and buy ads. It's absolutely massively fragmented, hugely fragmented, which means that there's a lot of competition to give a fair deal to advertisers, to make it accessible and cheap for everyone to be able to come on board. And it also means that there's not one company getting a load of press and getting everyone's attention, because it's so fragmented. It's not really talked about so easy. It's not so easy to label a big new update, because it doesn't really happen like that, because it's so fragmented. And the other cool benefit of a fragmented industry, so we've got already, benefit number one we've got benefit number one, and then benefit number two is the fact that you can go in. So we've got benefit number one, which is the competition makes it easier. So competition between the companies makes it easier. So competition between display advertising companies makes things a lot easier. And then on top of that, it means there's opportunity, there's hidden opportunity within there, because there's literally, if there's like 200 companies you can go and advertise through, then there's all sorts of places where people aren't looking, so there's a lot of hidden opportunity. So this is really cool. So we've got hidden opportunity and this competition, and sorry I'm not spelling it on there, I'll just get that right, opportunity. I still probably got it wrong. So that's really cool. There's so many hidden places. And then what's even more interesting is just the fact that every single website that runs a banner ad is your potential audience. So MediaBuyers is bigger than Facebook and Google combined. Take them, Facebook and Google, and put them together. MediaBuyers is huge, because MediaBuyers is so much bigger, because every single website that runs a banner or can run a banner is a potential place you can drive traffic from. And like, you can just buy banner ads directly from a site from anywhere. It's just a huge, massive opportunity. So looking back over here then, I talked briefly before about the issue with ad blindness from advertising to the same audience over and over again. And that can be like a cool thing to do when you can make some money, the audience is really targeted. So there's really two types of ads. And so I'll just draw this like up on screen, like, so you can see what we're talking about here. So I'm just circling it here. So this is what we're talking about, the two types of ads. And the two types of ads is, number one is you advertise to the same audience. Now, if there's anything you pay attention to in this webinar, it would be this little bit here. Now, if you miss this, then it's really the difference between being able to set up an evergreen campaign, which can bring you money month after month. Now, the word evergreen is thrown around a lot online, and people like to give the impression, certain types of people like to give the impression that evergreen means that you're just going to make money forever without doing any work. No such thing exists. But what evergreen really means is that you can set up a campaign where it's going to work continually month after month until there's like a major change, and until that point, nothing. You're going to be able to keep bringing in money and profits from that. So there's two types of ads. So one is where you advertise to the same audience. For example, you might advertise on a membership forum. So let's say you advertise on a golfing forum, and it's got golfing members who visit the site every day. It's got 10,000 members, and each week, like 5 to 10,000 of them log in and talk about golf. So you're like, great, I've got a golfing offer. It might be an affiliate offer, it might be a local offer, whatever it is that you want to advertise in the golfing industry. You go to that membership forum and you advertise. You put up a banner, and it's a really targeted audience, so as long as you've got the right offer, you've got the right type of banner ad, you're going to make some good money from that. But the problem is, after a week, almost everyone on that website has seen your banner a few times already. So why would they buy again? They can't buy again. If they wanted to buy it, they'd have already spent their money. If they wanted to opt in, if they wanted to do whatever it is that was making you money, they would have done that. So they do it within that first 7 days. It's kind of like what's happening on Facebook. It's a short-lived campaign. Now these can be cool, and I like to do these because you can make some very good money doing this. Because within 7 days that you might make like 1,000 or 5 or 10K for your business or for your online venture in doing this, whether you're promoting an affiliate offer, a CPA offer, an e-commerce site that you run, your own offer, your own product, whatever it is, then you can do that. But is that really what you want? I mean, they are good to have for like a nice injection of cash, but really where the big money is and where the long-term money is, and this is what will make a huge difference in your business, is when you advertise to a different audience each time. So the question is, well, how do you advertise to a different audience each time so that they don't get bored of your ad? So an example might be a resource or a research website. So for example, someone who is interested in buying a golf club, they want to buy a golf club, and so they type in, like golfing reviews for the specific brand which they're looking for, and they land on a resource website which helps them out to do that. So when they come to this resource website, so let's go ahead and Google and let's just type that in. So let's just go in here and type, golfing club reviews or golf club reviews. And we'll get some kind of, let me see what we've got here. If I could pick a specific brand, it would, be a lot better. So here we go, compare golf clubs head to head. So this is cool. Now, isn't it interesting what ads are on here? So we're up here on a golfing website, and already they've got some display ads right at the top. And, they've got these sponsors down the side as well. So this is a type of site which is going to have not the same visitors every single day, because if you want to buy a golf club, do you sit there day after day, week after week, month after month looking up this golf club? No, you do a bit of research for maybe a couple of days, maybe for a week, maybe for a month if you're really, really that serious, and then you buy the product that you wanted to buy. So it's going to be different people each time who are coming to this website. It's not going to be the same people. So the ads on this website, just look, they've got like all these little banner spots down the side. The reason is because this is a resource website, and these people, there's new people come in each time, so these are evergreen campaigns. These ads, a lot of these ads are still going to be here in a month, in 2 months, in 3 months, in 6 months' time. Things aren't going to change very quickly, and these advertisers can drive a profit month after month after month. And you could do this to promote an affiliate offer. You could do this to promote your own product. You could be promoting a CPA offer. Whatever it is that you want to promote. And so that's much, much more effective than, advertising to the same audience again and again like you do on Facebook or like you would do on a forum. So does that make sense to everyone about like how these evergreen campaigns are a lot more powerful, and it makes sense about the slight difference in what you might do in targeting? And it's interesting because there's been all this buzz about Facebook, but no one's really pointed out this really, really huge, important fact that you're advertising to the same people over and over again. And you can't build an evergreen income like that. You can't build a sustainable income or traffic source from doing that. So does that make sense to everybody? Just before I move on, I'll just grab a quick drink just while you guys say yes, or if you've got any questions on that. Okay, that's perfectly clear, good. Because I'm just making sure that you guys are getting everything out of this so that you can use this information going forward. These are subtle little things, and the way in which you approach and the way in which you think about getting traffic online, which makes a huge, huge amount of difference. And Joey said, I think with Facebook's much larger audience that it would last longer. You'd think that, Joey, but like as I went through before, when you target 1 million people, you're only really reaching like 10,000. Okay, and there's other questions coming in which I've covered before. So if you come in late and you've missed them, then you'll just need to watch the replay. Okay, so here we are with what the situation is with really traffic. So ultimately, when it comes down to traffic, like a couple of things are going to happen. If you've got traffic, then you're in a really good situation to grow your business and the profits in your business or your online venture. But if you've got no traffic, and I've been through this situation, and it's been a pretty depressing situation for me. So I'm assuming everyone here, you guys aren't complete novices, right? Because the sort of things which I show people isn't really for people who are completely novice. I'm sure that you guys have tried to get traffic before to your site. Maybe you've had some success, maybe you haven't, and you're looking for different ways to get traffic to your site. Is that the situation for everyone here? If you can just give me a quick yes or a no, that you've done some things online before. You're not like a complete newbie for this. Yeah. So I mean, this stuff isn't for complete beginners. Okay. Yes. So everyone says that they've got some ads running, or they've got some traffic. So okay, perfect. If you're a complete beginner, then I don't think anyone is on here. So, but if you are, then like it's always good to pay attention to like things which are a little bit more advanced. And what this is really going to do for you, what you've realized so far, is some of the key critical things which will make a big difference in how you bring traffic to your site, and maybe began to realize some of the ways in which you were going wrong. Because ultimately, if you're not getting enough traffic right now, whether you're getting some traffic or no traffic, or you're just not scaling fast enough, you'll probably be aware that the traffic to your site or to your projects or to your affiliate offers is incredibly linked with the amount of money you make. And if you've got no traffic, you've got no money, and you're essentially in a position where you're failing. And I've been in that situation, and it just doesn't feel good. It feels really, really bad. And that's the sort of thing which has kept me awake at night. And I'm asking myself, why am I having this slow progress? Why do other people seem to have loads of slow progress, and why are other people having fast progress? And so what's common in slow progress and not being able to really gain any momentum and really get to where you want to go? And the answer is really where you focus your time. So focusing your time on traffic is a good thing to do. You're here right now, you're in a good place, you already know that traffic is important for your site and for your business and for your income, whatever it is that you're sending traffic to. But there's lots and lots of different ways to get traffic, and so it's not just where you focus your time in your business. Obviously, traffic is one of the most important places to focus your time. Following on from that, though, there's so many different points with traffic. The people who I see who move forward in their business in the most rapid way focus their time on the traffic which gives them the best return on their time, which for the time they put in gets them the biggest results. And if you get this traffic thing sorted, then everything else becomes infinitely easier. So if you have traffic, you've got money coming into your business. Traffic is really the breakthrough. It's been the breakthrough in my business when I solved this traffic problem. And paid traffic is by far the fastest way to solve the traffic issue. I've done SEO. I would consider myself exceptionally good at SEO, but I understand that unless I'm going for long tail keywords which don't bring a huge amount of traffic, or unless I'm going for the long game where I'm building up I'm blogging and I'm building up a lot of momentum and authority in Google, which I've done and I still do, but it just takes time to gain that momentum, so it's not very fast. It's something that's kind of happening over time, and you can't really rely just on Google. So paid traffic is ultimately the best way and the fastest way to build an income online, and whenever I focused on paid traffic, whatever form that might be, that's when I've had the biggest growth in my business. And when you have traffic, this is important right now. So I'm just going to highlight this up on screen in red, what I'm showing here. So when you have traffic, you're able to do these cool things. And what you can do is, when you've got traffic, being able to increase your profits is a relatively easy process, because you simply test. You test out, you swap out different banners, you test different landing pages, you test different offers with your audience, and you push for higher conversions. When you do that testing, you can increase your profits 10, 20, 30, 50%. Without traffic, you can't do that. So you're able to increase profits by doing this. You have to have traffic in the first place to do it. Then you can systemize. If you've got a steady flow of traffic from evergreen campaigns, you can systemize. If you've been running Facebook campaigns and you're having to create a new campaign every single week, over and over again, and you're having to keep up with all the updates and the changes, then it's very, very difficult to systemize and step back. You become your business, you become your project. The same with SEO as well. It becomes very, very difficult. You can't systemize unless it's an evergreen form of traffic. And when it's evergreen, it gives you that power to either use technology to solve some issues, or hire some help, or potentially hire people as well in other areas to do SEO and things for you, because you have an income already. So it really up to you. It depends how far you go. And then when you scale, it's the 80-20 rule, where you can focus on the 20% that's driving 80% of the results, which is huge. And that's really how you scale. You look at the 20% of traffic which is driving you the most profits. You will always find this. And so you focus on that small amount, you tweak that, and you look for other similar areas of traffic on how you can expand. That's the quickest way to scale in your business. Okay, so I'm just going to share with you up on screen now my experience and why I got involved in Media Buyers and the Media Buy Academy. So I wouldn't really consider myself a media buy expert. What I would say that I'm pretty good at following trends, and knowing where to put my time and effort into in order to leverage my business and my time in the best way possible. I never used to do this, and I used to work a huge amount of hours every single day, kind of spinning my wheels, being really frustrated, sitting awake at night wondering what the hell I'm doing, having my dad tell me that, I've been wasting the past couple of years. That used to be the situation for me. Now, I kind of figured out where to look at the right time and, just to kind of jump in and get the experience with it and scale as fast as I can. So I always look for the biggest leverage point in my business, and that is, for me, media buys. For me right now, the biggest growth area in business is media buys. So this has been my experience. I found a site that had my audience, and I paid for a $200 banner ad on that website. Really, really, really simple. Incredibly simple. I just bought a banner ad on that site. And instead of doing some crazy complicated funnel where, I had because you could do these things where you've got an email series and then you're sending them different things. You're sending maybe a PDF, then you're sending them a video, and then you're sending them something else, and then maybe after 7 days you send them to a sales page. A complicated funnel like that, I didn't have that. I just sent them direct to a 90-second video which then had a link to the sales page. Really, really simple, and I made from that just shy of $400. So for $200 in, I made just shy of $400, which hit my target of putting $1 in and getting $2 out. So I was very, very happy with that, and that really, a light bulb went off in my head, and I said to myself, wow, this is much, much easier than I originally thought it was. And I was, I've had some experience where I was able to pick the right website, I have the page and stuff laid out right, so, I can't just say you're going to jump in and have this exact same experience. You're going to want to have a look at some of the techniques and things which you do, the step-by-step methods in order to do that. This was my experience with it. And I just want to show you now, I'm going to show you something which I think you'll really be interested in to just see how big this can be scaled up. And this isn't the biggest it can be, but it's certainly, so someone just asked, my little case study over what period of time. That was 2 days. So in 2 days I bought a banner. I mean, it took me 10 minutes to set up. So within 10 minutes I had it all set up, and then, within a couple of days or two or 3 days, I made that money back and almost doubled it. And so this up on screen now are some stats. I just want to make sure you can see the numbers. It is a little bit small, and obviously this is being done live, so the video gets compressed. So if you can just make sure you can see those numbers. If you can just give me a yes in the chat box, you can see the numbers up on screen. They're not too small. I don't really want to zoom in because it makes it all pixelated. Yeah, okay, you can see these numbers. And so you can probably see that the number of clicks here is 88,000 clicks. Okay, so this is from Josh Wexelbaum, who's one of the Media Buy Academy trainers. He runs a site called SendTweet, among a number of other projects. And he also does, he drives traffic to CPA offers is one of the things he's done. And he's driven, in this particular campaign, $21,000 of revenue, which is huge. And this is just goes to show how much traffic you can drive. And again, another one here, this is another one of his accounts from Josh, and he's done $45,000 in commissions, and, he's made, driven 100,000 clicks, just shy of 100,000 clicks, 99,994. And this is for last month in October. So $45,000 in commissions within 1 month in one account. He's got campaigns in the other one with 20,000. Then he's doing a private deal, sending traffic to another company who he can't reveal. But he's made $31,645 from that particular client as well, driving traffic to them. So he's done it with CPA offers, he's doing it with clients. You can really drive traffic to anything that you want. So if you want to just type in the chat box what you might be thinking of driving traffic to, I can tell you if that's a good idea or not. It covers you've got CPA offers, so it works for CPA, it works for affiliate offers. Whatever type of product or offer resonates with you and you want to drive traffic to, you can do that. It can work with e-commerce, it works with local. Works really well with local because you can target very specifically. MJ says he's promoting a franchise, yes. High-ticket items, definitely. So yeah, you can promote high-ticket items in there. So pain relief products, we've got hotel and bookings, definitely. T-shirts, yep. Paper call offers, yep, definitely. So paper call. So I'm not going to write down the specific niches, more kind of like the type. So you can do paper call offers. Yeah, CPA affiliate programs. Okay. So yeah. So sometimes like in some of this, it's don't always necessarily, you don't link directly to what you're advertising. You might have a squeeze page up in front, or you might have like a page which leads into it. That's like covered within Media Buy Academy. It really depends what you're promoting. So like you can do it in local, you can do it, like completely broad, like national, any niche. It works in any niche. It's not going to work like if you're trying to sell guns, because most advertisers aren't going to let you, although with media buying you probably could find some. It's, as long as like you can't like try and sell like alcohol or something like that, but the majority of things which you want to advertise online you can do. So someone said a car buying service, weight loss, yeah. Local tankless water heater business, yeah, you can do it through media buys as well. CPA affiliate offers. There's all things within media buys which you can do to drive more traffic and to drive higher conversion, no matter what industry or niche you're in. And there's an interesting case study from Mike which he did, where he tried like, so Mike's another guy in the Media Buy Academy as well, and he did like a case study where he tried like inbound marketing and SEO, and he tried these different things, and he was doing it in the dentist tourism niche, which is kind of like a very specific weird niche, and he did it with media buys. So it's not like you have to go out and advertise on sites like CNN. You can really hone it down and be very, very specialist. And we're running a little bit out of time here. So we've got CPA affiliate, e-commerce, local, high ticket, pay per call, physical or info products. Pretty much whatever you want to advertise, you can do. So I won't run through like the list. It could get pretty huge. So I'll just leave that up on screen. Just a quick screenshot just to show you how cheap the traffic can get. This is in wide appeal niches. This isn't like, like really targeted traffic. But you can get traffic for less than like 0.4 of a cent per click. It's absolutely huge how much traffic you can get for so cheap. So in wide appeal niches, it can work absolutely brilliantly, because wide appeal niches you can use this sort of traffic with. Okay, so moving on to the next thing then is some of the new developments which we haven't really had time to talk about. We've just gone past the hour mark, and we've already uncovered some really interesting things. So if it's been interesting for you so far, just give me like a quick yes in the chat box. Nice little bit of feedback for me to know you guys are happy. Larry says, yeah, brilliant, keep going, yes, okay. So we're running out of time, so I've only got like a few minutes left. I know you guys are busy. I know it's Thanksgiving over there in the US. If you're in the US, if you're in Europe, then it's not Thanksgiving, so maybe you got a little bit more time. But there's been lots of advancements with media buying. So one of the cool things, that this is stuff we haven't been able to cover, but it's covered in the Media Buy Academy. So one of these things is a new technology, which is a 25 times increase in clicks and 16 times in conversions. When you play around with paid traffic, like if you can get like a 20% increase in like maybe clicks or conversions, then that can be the difference between a winning campaign or a losing campaign, which goes on to make $100 per day or more. But you won't get that. When you've got like a 2,500% increase, that's absolutely insane. So this technology and the amount it can increase clicks and in conversions is absolutely insane. And typically, it's been available for about 2 years, but only to agencies who have a big budget, and it's just come out like to kind of like behind the scenes in these real-time buy networks where like little guys like you and me can go in and start buying traffic. There's also this precision targeting with invisible buys. So this is like the cheapest targeted traffic you can possibly get. And also, I know like I've made loads of spelling mistakes on here, but 5 times to 10 times ROI with retargeting, 0.4% visitors. I just showed you the stats, and also mobile media buying, which is a huge, huge opportunity. And this is all covered in Media Buy Academy. It's all step-by-step modules, and it also includes media buying research software, so you can identify the best places to advertise. And that's like a 197 value in that software alone, because it costs $97 per year if you were to just go and buy that separately. So do you guys just want to have a very quick look just inside the members area so you can see? So we're kind of running out of time, so I don't want to show you something which you didn't want to look at. So if you want to have a look at the members area, I'll just wait until there's a few yeses. Joe's already jumped in and said yeah. Okay, yeah, Larry, Arthur. Okay, cool. All right. Put the members area on screen. Okay, I'll do it. Right. Okay, so this is the members area then of MediaBuy Academy. Like, if you were going to grab the course, you can go get it direct from Knowledge, but I wouldn't recommend that you do that because you'll pay a higher price. So, you know, just because we've actually just launched the new version of this course. So this course is put together by this guy Mike Hardenbrook. Okay, and so Michael Hardenbrook, I wouldn't say like he's a massive, huge media buyer. He's just used media buyer successfully. And what he's done is got people who are really, really good with media buys who are doing amazing things. Like these are guys, like these three guys here, like Max and Josh. Like you saw Josh's stats before. He's contributed to MediaBuy Academy. Max has contributed. Max was running $20,000 to $30,000 campaigns like when he was before he was even 20 years old. Ilya as well has done huge things in media buying. And like if you just go through some of the names, like Ollie from Unbounce, Ratco from Site Scout, Ryan from iSocket, Miles from Kanbanas, Nathan, who's a growth consultant to help businesses grow rapidly, Nana from Tracking 202. These are like the best of the best in media buying. And so Mike's done like a really amazing thing and got all these guys together. And so like this is like a premium, incredible course. And what's like really cool about this is it has all these experts in here, and it's actually even taught in Baylor University. So this course is actually in Baylor University. The old version of this course is in Baylor University. So they don't even have the most up-to-date, which has just been released like this week. And they're paying like, I don't know, like $2,000 per semester in Baylor. And so like this is the same course which is taught in that university, except it's just got all the new stuff, all the revisions and like all the latest additions and the software as well. And so, you've got the basics with like Media Buying 101 to get you started. Okay, then there's a software bonus, shows you how to use it and gives you like your lifetime access to that, which like normally you'd have to pay $97 per year if you went direct to the MeTribe website and buy that. Then this is where I recommend that you focus your attention. So if you're going to focus your attention anywhere, then you're going to want to focus on the direct buy methodology. And I mean, it depends on niches, but for the majority of people, the direct buy methodology is going to be what works for you. It's what I'm focusing on in my business. I run a software company, which is why I got involved in media buys. I had that cool experience where like I almost doubled my money, and like that's like the huge powerful thing which you can do here is just dive in. Like the direct buy methodology where you go to sites directly is where you're going to get the cheapest and best deals and the most targeted traffic. Like I found this is the best place to get started, and especially with like small budgets, it works incredibly well. And so there's lots of information here on how you do your targeting and put your ads together and things like that. So you've got pricing and negotiation, then also network buys as well. You can start here. I'd recommend doing that, after you've got some good grips with direct buys, you then would go into network buys. Okay, and banner design as well, landing page, retargeting. Like retargeting is just like, it's so easy right now. I mean, you'd have to like really like have no idea what you're doing and like maybe like look at one lesson in this and then think you know it all and go out and try and do it to actually like lose money. If you go through the course and you pay attention and you implement it and take the steps, if you do retargeting, like it's just so easy and it's absolutely brilliant for local businesses. Anything which you're selling online, like your own products, is absolutely brilliant. You get such cheap clicks and they're so targeted. More information on tracking and analytics. Also then here, like the new one on mobile media buying for affiliate offers. So that's like a huge opportunity right now. And obviously there's a lot here and it can keep you going for a while. So, really I recommend, focus on one area and get some things going. And then if you want to scale and you want to do more, you can certainly do that. Then if you're a beginner, there's the Profit 101. So like an introduction to like just online marketing in general if you're a complete beginner. And then also like this new technology on 25 times increase in clicks and 16 times conversions. So there's loads and loads and loads of stuff in here. So it's a mix of like PDF, videos, and files. Okay, so that's everything that's included here. So you can see the full members area here right now. And again, like the people who put this together, they are like the best and the best in like media buying. They're absolutely, crazy good in what they do. So it's a really, really like an amazing thing to have all these people together the best in the business. So I'm just going to shoot you guys the link here. Okay, so if we're running up to just 10 past, so let me just grab the link for you. And I know like Aravind and his partner have put like an incredible bonus together for you too. And so there's an actual bonus which you can grab, which is listed on this page. And I'm just going to give you the link now in the chat box. So I just put this link together just before the webinar, so please head through and click the link. Okay, and because like we're creating like a bit of Launchbuzz at the moment, it's at a discount, which is why I said, don't go direct to Knowledgy to grab it. If you go through this link here, you'll get the the launch discount. So there's like a small discount on that for you guys, and that's only like just during our like launch period, just to like create a bit of buzz. And then you've also got the benefit because you've come here through Aravind. So I'm Chris Munch, even though it says on screen that I'm Aravind, I'm Chris Munch. Aravind and his partner have put together this really cool bonus for you guys. So like if we head on over to that, then we can see. Okay, so I'm just going to put this link on screen as well. So this is Media Buy Academy Reloaded, which is the new version of the course and with all the software included as well. Okay, so everything you need to know is going to be on that page. So I'm not really going to, the stuff's on that page. I'm not going to go through every single detail on that, as you can go through that on your own. I know everyone's busy and we're a little bit close to the hour. Let's pick my nice little font here. So there it is up on screen. I'll just give you just a second to type that in if you need to type it in, and it's also in the chat box as well. Okay, and if you can just if that, I guess the link's working because no one's saying it isn't, so that's where you can go. And if you've got any questions, about media buying, just in general, it's really good to have these guys helping you and showing you the best way to do this, which is why I got involved as part of this. I had I'd done some stuff like with Mike previously, and he'd introduced me to the idea of media buying, so I thought, I'll go try this out. I really like the idea. I've been doing like a few little things on the side, and so that's what got me involved. And I've just really seen the power of it being the biggest way and the most powerful way for me to scale my business. So if you've got any questions, if you want to pop them in the chat box, and I'll be here for about 5 more minutes just to answer you guys. So someone's asking, what's the price for the bonus? The bonus is just included. So you head to that page. Everything you see on that page is like all the bonuses are listed. They're included for the price. So this is just Aravind giving you even more extra. So we'll go through those bonuses in just a second. Someone's asking, what does the software do? So that's the research software to help you find the sites. So let's go to find the sites and help you identify the sites which are going to be the most profitable sources of traffic for your business, so you can make a decision. Okay, so I'm just asking answering some questions as well in the chat box too. And it's really the fastest way to grow your like online venture or your business. So someone's asking, does the Media Buy Academy work with specific media vendors? So with specific advertisers, or are you a vendor ourselves? So no, Media Buy Academy shows you the best places to go and how to approach buying this traffic. It's a very simple, easy process. I'd say it's like just as easy, if not easier, than Facebook. I mean, it depends. There's there's up to potentially 500 places and networks where you can buy traffic from, plus all the individual sites. So there's just so much opportunity in being able to hunt out those little niches. Someone's saying, is it going to stay open for several weeks? No, it's not. So, I mean, Media Buy Academy is permanently open, but it's not going to be open at this price because it's a launch special, while we're just during launch week. And does it work for mobile? Yeah, if you looked, there was up on screen, I did show, there was a module for mobile media buys. So how long will the price be open for? It's till next Tuesday, so next Tuesday is the last day. I'm not sure how long Aravind is doing his bonuses for. That's really up to him, and he might have some limitation on that. I'll just have to have a look now. So it's got all the details on here of like some of the things which are included in the course. He's actually missed a few things out because we've added some new things in, and then he's got his bonuses listed in there as well. Okay. Oh yeah. So here's one of the really cool. He's given you like a ton. This is really cool what he's done. He's put in a load of campaigns together with like the landing pages and the banners and everything which he's done, the campaigns which he's done for this, and he's just handing them over on a plate, which is like, I'm not really sure why he's doing this, but it's an incredible deal that he's actually throwing in like all the details on his campaigns. Like these are some of the commissions he's been earning through these campaigns. And he's throwing you in the banners, like the countries where he's done it, and the landing pages which he's used, which is very crazy. And you can see he's been doing this in lots of different countries as well. So not just within the US, there's opportunities in all sorts of different places. So this is really powerful. So this is a really cool bonus package of what he's put together. I mean, so you can go through the page and you can look at like the information and read through. I mean, and just see. I mean, Aravind has been. I mean, he's only a young guy. And like him and his partner have been doing like really cool things. I mean, look at the amount of clicks which he's got here. This is crazy. And so someone's asking if there's a money back guarantee. It's 30 days. It's a 30-day money back guarantee. Someone's saying where it says 0.04, does it mean 4 cents? Maybe it's just made, which I'm not so sure which bit you're referencing, but it should be 0.004, so it's 0.4 of a cent, and that's what's covered in the course. I just recorded that today, and I'm just sending it off to Mike. I just got to upload it and send it off to Mike, and that should be within the course probably tomorrow on the 0.4 of a cent click. So that's new stuff which has just been put in. Okay, guys. So I just got a couple more minutes for questions, and then we're about 20 minutes over the hour. So if you've got any quick questions that you want to ask me just before you go, then just do that. If there's something you're concerned about, if there's something which you might you're wondering what type of traffic or what type of offer you can do this. So I'll just answer a couple of these in the chat box. Okay, someone's asking for the link in the chat box again. I'll just put that in just in case you missed it the first time. Okay, so there's just a couple more questions in the chat box which I'm just getting to. Okay, so I just got through those last few questions. So I'll just give it 1 minute just in case anyone's got any last questions just before I close the webinar down. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you had a question, if you just want to hit return, so I know that you're typing something in and you can finish the question off, you can do that. Okay, looks like no more. Okay, right. So thanks very much, guys. It's really been a pleasure chatting with you guys. Been a really nice audience. Chatting in the chat box and sharing your experiences, answering my questions. So it's been a lot of fun doing this presentation with you. So really appreciate that, and I really hope to see you guys inside the members area, and also to to wish you well with your media buying experience and bringing more traffic into your sites and your online projects. So that's really the way forward, and I think you probably realize now where it might be better to focus your attention as you move forward with your business. So thanks very much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the members area and on the live training sessions which we'll be holding as well. So I will be there on a couple of the live training sessions which will be happening like in early to mid-December. So thanks very much, guys, and see you then.